Hello, welcome to Perfect Gaming. As you probably know, I have been lacking in the upload department recently. Anyway, I've got a reasonably good TOGII 2 game here on World of Tanks. It's not great, I only get one kill. So we'll say that now, but we do get a bit of damage in. I do die, but we win at the end of the day. So it wasn't too bad, it was quite a nice game. Quite a slow game, because you'll probably notice that whenever I kind of play a TOGII game, it does seem to be incredibly slow. And just to say why I'm sitting still at the moment is because I usually alt-tab out at the beginning just to like check up on some other stuff, so that kind of explains that. But anyway, probably not too interested in what I do when I alt-tab away from World of Tanks. We'll get on to what we're doing today. So yes, what I was saying is that essentially the TOGII 2 games are quite slow because in the faster tanks they're generally a bit more fast action, but if you're not a kind of action kind of guy, this is the tank for you because it is incredibly slow, as you're probably all aware anyway, but just to clarify, it is very slow, so depending on the map you don't often see a ton of action. But anyway, you can probably notice we're in a tier 7 game, which isn't ideal really for the TOG, and this is kind of what I was talking to myself about earlier. I say talking to myself, I'm not mental, just to warn you, but yeah, with the Churchill 3 for example, I've kind of always said, oh no, this tank's awful and stuff, and kind of always complained about it, but the truth of that is that it isn't actually that bad, because I always complain to Alpha, say, no, I don't like my Churchill 3, it's rubbish, but truthfully it's not actually that bad. It's kind of a reasonable tank, providing it's in a tier 5 game. In a tier 6 game it can pretty much be one-shotted by KV-1S and other big guns, SPGs for example. But yeah, it's a fairly good tank. I actually noticed when I was playing a game in it earlier today is that quite often if you do actually play it properly, it's not too bad. It's like reasonably good. So basically I still didn't win against KV-1 and BDR, but anyway, like enough of that. Basically the BDR obviously has a 90mm gun, so didn't really take too much to get through my armor. I did bounce quite a bit, which was quite good, so I did kind of take in Alpha's advice to actually play it a bit better. And surprisingly it is quite fun. It does need support because its gun doesn't really have enough alpha. It does shoot like a machine gun, but it doesn't have enough alpha damage to actually like kind of go unsupported, because if it's unsupported you're just there chucking little potholes into it. Essentially your opposition isn't particularly scared of you, because although also I'm popping shots into them every 2.5 seconds, they're probably seeing like minus 50 HP, they're just a bit like, oh, okay, so I'm not too bothered about that, but there you go. Anyway, apart from that, happy Halloween. It is the 1st of November, so it's a bit late for that now, because I didn't actually do a video during Halloween. I'll just say that now. But anyway, as you can see, it's kind of quite a slow game so far. I take my first shot, I actually do get him. At that point he's just decided he's going to ditch his tank into the ditch, because he knows he's being shot at. He does eventually get killed, there you go. The KV-3 took him out. But yeah, it is a pretty slow game, so you're probably seeing that I'm kind of stuck a bit on the commentary, because there isn't really too much to say. All I can say though is I do recommend the TOG 2, and this is kind of another thing that Alpha and I were kind of discussing, is that Alpha was saying that the TOG 2 is like a bad tank, and I kind of somewhat agree. It's not amazing, but in the right hands it's pretty good. I'm not saying I'm the best player for it, because I'm not amazingly good in the TOG, but if you kind of talk to someone who knows how to play the TOG, it's not actually that bad. If you can use it to the advantage, you're on the right map for example, and you can get to a place and snipe people, it's actually a very, very good tank. The only issue is, especially in like open field maps here, I mean I'm kind of hugging the town so I can't get shot, but if I go out into open land, they can spot me from a mile away, and I'm like taking shots from all sorts of people, and it doesn't work out too well. Although its HP pool does help, but again when you've got like ISs, KV-1Ss, all shooting at you, all being able to penetrate no issue, doing like 400, 500 damage per shot, it doesn't really take that much to kill you, but there you go. So this point here is kind of neck on neck, although we are slightly winning, but it's kind of at the point where it could go either way. Is a reasonably slow game as a whole really, but especially I'm kind of just a bit stuck here just watching a TOG. Not particularly doing much, although having said that I do get this VK 3601 I think it is. Just finish him off there. I'm not particularly sure he knew who was shooting at them. I think he roughly did, but he was trying to get into cover and couldn't quite get there. So we did get him. He is a tier 6 as well, so it was a pretty valid kill. It wasn't like a noob kill, killing like a tier 5 or something, so it was reasonably good. And otherwise I'm kind of thinking, should I go over there, should I not? So there's two heavy tanks, both on reasonably high health. There is a tank destroyer down there, and there are two tanks. But there's one medium tank and a tank destroyer trying to take out Bartoska 66. But I'm kind of thinking if I go over there, as soon as it gets scouted out, it's possible that I start taking fire from over the other side, because presumably there's still quite a few of them there. But having said that, when you actually watch the replay, you kind of realise that actually quite a lot of their teams either over on the right hand side of the map, bottom right, on the bottom left, so you kind of think actually it's probably not too much of a threat apart from the Hummel, which actually does lead to does lead to my demise, for a matter of fact. And again, that's another disadvantage. The TOG, because it's so long, if I kind of move back and forwards, the Hummel or whatever can like shoot me there, and then I'll like move back into it or move around. So it is reasonably tricky to dodge artillery, especially if they get a good shot on you. But yeah, at this point I'm starting to get a bit worried. We've got the heavy tank over there, which I think I start getting shot at by all sorts of people with that. There's a Tiger P over there, which I didn't quite realise because I wasn't concentrating. And I do get one shot into, assuming it's a Tiger H, thinking, okay, this isn't going to be too bad. And then take two shots. Suddenly half my health is done for. And I do get a couple of shots in, but then when I realise I can no longer penetrate it, and I aim for the turret because the turret is supposedly one of the weaker spots on the Tiger P compared to its frontal armour. I don't do too well, although having said that, I possibly could have killed it if I wasn't taking damage from quite a big tank over there, but otherwise, reasonably good game. I am now dead now, so I'll wrap it up. But anyway, thanks for watching guys, hope you did enjoy the video today, and if you did, remember to like and subscribe. See you next time.